Okay, welcome to the next video, which is how to set up your folders inside of Google Drive. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is navigate over to your Google Drive. And before we actually get to organizing our Google Drive folders, I actually want to go up to the settings bar here, or the settings icon, this gear icon, and then go to settings. And so from here, what I'm able to do is kind of make some updates that allow for me to just quickly access the information that I want to access right away. Now, this is totally your preference, so you determine, what makes the most sense for you, but I am just going to show you how I use Google Drive and some of the settings that make the most sense for me. So the first option here is to convert uploads to Google Docs editor format. So I upload and download a lot of different documents, and sometimes what happens is I get a Google, like an Excel spreadsheet, or I get a Word document, and then I put it into my Google Drive, and then it's in a different format. And so instead of having to upload and re-upload and change formats and things like that, which not that much time in the moment, but can add up to a lot of time if I'm constantly having to change all of these updates. Or change all of these document formats. So I click here to convert uploads to Google Doc editor format. Then you can decide on what the density is. And then this is a big one for me. So Google Drive, just like any other website, wants you to stay on their website as long as possible. And so they have this option for suggested files. Now, I find the suggested files really distracting. So I like to turn them off. So we have show suggested files in my drive. No, thank you. Show suggested files in shared with me. No, thank you. This one drives me bonkers, and it's a one-click situation, but it's make priority my default homepage. That's not actually where I typically go. Everything is in the main Drive page, so I don't want that. And then this one is show suggested recipients in sharing dialogue. So if you have all of your if you're like pre-typing somebody to share a document with, this will show up. Now, I do think that this is helpful, so I am going to leave that. Then I might go over here to notifications. So get updates about Google Drive items in your browser. No, thank you. I don't want any updates. Email, get updates about Google Drive. This feels fine. And Google Chat, I don't need that. Okay, then apps, don't need that. Okay, so let's go back here to our page where this is our main Google Drive folder. As you can see on the left-hand side, I still have all of the typical folders, but this is where my drive is. Now, real quick, before I share all about these different folders, I first want to let you know that you have a resource under this video. You can go and grab this. So it's called Organize Your Files. One of my biggest frustrations as an ED was not really knowing where to put everything in my folders. And so I finally created it. And so the way that this works is you have 4 primary folders. So we have executive, operations. Oh, sorry, there's a few more. Communication and marketing, program and services, fundraising. Yeah, and that's it. Okay, so then under executive, you have your executive director reports and your board of directors. So this is like your executive hub, okay? Then we have our operations. So this is like, so business hub is like the brand guidelines, professional development, important information. You know, we got to make sure that we have all of these documents that are fairly easy to find. Then we have operations where we have finance and IT and insurance and volunteers and all of, you know, all the files that we need to have available to us. Let's see, and then communication and marketing, we have kind of some of the big ones. Program and service, you know, depending on what it is that you do, you might have a different folder for each of your different programs or services that you provide. And then we have fundraising, which is stewardship, major donors, events, campaigns, and grants. And then we have naming conventions. So you really want to decide how you are going to name your documents. And so this document is available to you inside the Sprouted hub. So go ahead and download this. Now, when we go back to the drive, I will say that I started with these 5 main folders, and then once I figured out which folders I was going to on a regular basis, I pulled them out so that I could create more of a one-click, I could reduce the number of clicks that I was taking to be able to access the files that I needed on a regular basis, you know, because you're not using your year-end folder as often, you know, in February as you would be in November. So if we head over to the drive here, as you can see, I have all of these different folders and they are in reverse order. So we are going to set it up so that it is like this. Now, I have ordered these in order of how I am using them and where how often I need to access them. And so what I have done is numbered them, and then I, of course, have added some emojis because, you know, we like to have some fun in our life. I have, so I do show you in one of the bonus videos how to use meeting notes with Google. So all of those meeting notes go in here. I have a lot of ideas, and sometimes they happen and sometimes they don't. So they go here. And then I'm in some courses, I have some personal stuff, and then you'll notice that I have executive, I have operations, I have sales and marketing. Yours is communications and marketing. So I have the same folders, but I have pulled out some of the more important documents that, or more important folders that I use on a regular basis. You will also see here that there's a folder and then there's a little person. That means that that I have shared this folder with someone. So you'll notice executive here, or operations. Let's go with operations. Operations, I'm not sharing this one with anyone because this has some of our highly sensitive information. It has some employee information. It has some banking information. So I'm not sharing that with the whole team. But then I do have the Small Shop Share Drive where I can add kind of all the different folders that I would need my team to access, and I don't have to worry about sensitive information being available to the entire team. So I do have a podcast. I'm going to show you a little behind the scenes here. So this folder, it is shared with a couple of different people. Now, we have a few different folders here for the different needs that we have with the podcast. And so depending on, you know, if we have, so right here, podcast 52, this is where we write like all of the show notes. So this one is just, this document isn't in a folder, it's just kind of out there. Then we have all of the audio files. So I don't actually go into this folder very often. You can see that it was last modified in January 16th, 2021, literally when I first made it. Because what happens is I drop everything into this folder, and then when I'm done with the audio files, I just copy them and put them into audio files. Then we have scripts, and this is where, you know, if we're creating the scripts or the show notes or whatever, they all go in here. Okay, so there's also different people. So like the editor, the person who edits my podcast, he's on audio files, and he can see all of these folders, but he really only needs this one and the audio files. So no need to you know, give people extra permissions or extra information that they don't need. Okay, so back to the drive. Really what the biggest thing that I want you to get out of this is to first go here and create all of your different folders, kind of organize all your folders, and then as you decide which ones you are using on a regular basis, then you can start to put them in the different folders that make sense. Okay, so say you want to create a new folder. So let's go here and we'll just, if I go here, we go to new, create new folder. I am going, so I noticed that it's 14, and then I'm going to create a travel folder because I am traveling a lot more, so create that folder. Awesome. Okay, so then go here into the travel folder. If I want to edit this folder, I can just click on this little down arrow and kind of change, you know, if I want to share it with somebody or if I want to get the link. You can add it to starred. So if this is a folder that you want to be accessed easily, all of your starred folders go over here in the left-hand side. And then you can even change the colors. So let's see, we'll go with green here. So then when we go to the drive, you can see that travel is listed here, and it has a cute little green folder. So I don't often color all the different folders. The color folders that I do have are for, we go back here, for these main folders. So you can see that we've got sales and marketing, operations, executive and personal, and now of course travel. So that's how I do my color coding. Okay, I hope that this is helpful and a way for you to make a little more sense of your Google Drive and hopefully not have it be too much chaos for you. Yeah, this is Rachel from Small Shop Strategies. If you have any questions, definitely reach out.